Happy New Year! Happy New Year! I'm Dr. Stephen Herbert III. I'm ready to take it to the house.
We ready, we ready, we ready for y'all. Happy New Year to you all. We couldn't wait to get back in the saddle. We got somewhere to go and we want to go with y'all. I'm Dr. Timothy Hoover and we're taking it to the house. Vic, how you doing?
Hey, baby. It is a new year. It's a new second half of this decade. It's time to make things happen. It's time to watch some things occur and part of that, be part of that change. So, look, bro, it could not get no more hype than it is right now.
I hear you. I hear you. The NFL season, they added another game, and it still come down to the best of the best of the best. We got some good NFL playoffs coming up. We're going to talk about that. The college playoff format, they increased the format for the playoffs, but we're down to two. We're going to talk about that. Time permitting, let's go into the NBA. However, I started off NFL. Let's jump right there. Bruh, all these coaching changes. New England, we already know about what happened in Chicago, but Tomlin, people are talking about Tomlin's head in Pittsburgh. What? What? Before you take any bite off this meat on this bone, let me talk about what happened. I don't feel what happened in New England was fair to Mayo. He was the coach in waiting. When Belichick retired, they hired Mayo. A year later, they fire him. I don't get it. I don't understand it. How about give the brother a chance? You allow, and I'm going to be particular. He's Coach Mayo is a black coach. Give him some time. Why recycle all these white coaches? Why? Why not give the brother a little bit of time? Give him some space. You made the mistake. No, there's no mistake. How about he doesn't have a quarterback yet? How about he doesn't have a good line or skilled players yet? Why you put it on the coach after 1 year? So no, it's not a black and white thing. I'm not going to make it a black and white thing. That's just me. However, when it comes to coaches, not Pittsburgh, excuse me. When it comes to coaches, Pittsburgh can ride it on out from Noel to the chin to Tomlin. Tom, forgive me, Mike Tomlin. So how come we in the Patriots we can't go from Belichick, who stayed 20 plus years, on to another coach, and you give him some more of the weapons so he can use? I'm just a little salty with that. I don't understand after 1 year why you would fire a coach without just cause.
I'm with you. I think, we want a quick turnaround. They just ran a dynasty, 20
Right.
plus years of a franchise quarterback for 20 years, and then the head coach for 20 years, that went through two different dynasties through that period. So it's quite natural after that leader and that coach, that leader and that quarterback leave, that you're going to have to rebuild. How long has the Los Angeles Lakers taken to get back to who we were? Like, you're not
Right.
going to reload instantly. You have to experience the dark period. You have to redraft. You have to rebuild. You have to grow. You have to define a new culture. So, whether it's the Patriots, the Cleveland Browns, the Seattle Seahawks, the Raiders, you cannot have organizations that are successful when you do these frequent turnarounds. Case in point, look at the Jets. You cannot have a successful organization if, one, you don't know who you are, so you do not have your organizational identity and culture, and then you're doing quick turnover at the leadership level. So
Right.
Mayo comes in as a first-time coach. So allow him to understand his leadership skills, his leadership style. What is his quarterback? What's his offensive style? What's his defensive style? What staff does he have? What staff did he inherit? What's his vision? What does Robert Kraft want from him? How many
Right.
years do I have to get this right? Are you giving me 1 year to get this right? 2 years, 3 years? That's the first question I'm asking if I'm any coach interviewing for a job, when I understand turnover rate as a coach in the National Football League is extremely high. Hey, organization, again, Jets, Raiders, Browns, How long? What are you expecting in this first year of me coaching this team? What are you expecting before the time this contract is over? Playoffs, Super Bowl, three more wins. You know, the year before I came on board, you had two wins. There's four wins, season successful. And then let me tell you what you can expect in this first year. I didn't say we're going to go get the Lombardi. I didn't say we're winning the AFC East. There's already an AFC East dynasty happening in the form of the Buffalo Bills. So until you allow me as a coach to build my culture, you need to tell me what the expectation is. And I'll tell you if I want the job or not. Meanwhile, you can look at the Giants. We know they should let that coach and the GM go after they gave Saquon away. Yet somehow they're saying let's see what happens. So coaching in the National Football League, organizations that do not have a strong culture or understand what they want to do, how they want to do it, are quick to look at the next thing that's flying. Oh, that's a hot thing without having an idea of what right looks like. Aaron Rodgers was a good quarterback before he came to the New York Jets. Something happened. It's the organization. It's the organization. So it's very sad to see Mayo, Antonio Pierce, uh, even the coaches, Matt Eberflus. I mean, here it is. He's a coach for the Bears. However, he has a rookie quarterback. So how
Right.
much is on me to change this culture, allow my team to learn how to play together, put my systems in place? So that's pretty unfair. Like I said, it's not a black and white thing. I think it's a failed leadership thing.
And then we got Dallas. We got McCarthy. They did not re-sign him. He's now a free agent. They're talking about Deion Sanders coming in. They're talking. I don't know, Kellen Moore, who used to be on the previous staff, coming in with Dallas. I certainly wanted to know what you thought about Deion coming over. I think we talked about that before. But the way they let McCarthy go, uh, Dallas, y'all got a problem. Your problem is your billionaire. Matter of fact, the NFL, all these billionaires, they have a short fuse, they have a quick hook, and they have little patience. And to me, these billionaires they're playing fantasy coaches, fantasy football, and they're gonna pick and choose, and they don't have that patience, that kind of. And I'm not talking. Yes, I'm painting a broad brush, and no, it does not apply to all organizations or all coaches or all general managers or owners. No, it does not. But it seems though a lot of these owners just don't have the time to wait. And as you just stated, it takes time to build your identity. The Dan Campbells, it took a minute, but look at his team. And if they're not a duplicate or a mirror image of him, okay, where they're going to bite off kneecaps and or hurry back off the IR so they can make and put Detroit on the map. I'd love that. How come more owners can't be like that? So Jerry Jones, I wish you were less visual, more behind the scenes. That's what I would wish. And let smart NFL players, people make these smart NFL decisions. I give Jerry Jones a lot of credit, man. Outstanding marketer, outstanding, and the brand is huge. But I thought it was about wins and losses. In the end, I think it was that about wins and losses. As a matter of fact, if I am a Dallas fan, if I'm a fan of that team, I want dubs. I want championships. And I want you to show me that you have a plan in place that's going to happen. And Dallas does not have that plan in place. You pay Dak too much. You get a lame duck coach, and you let he's a Super Bowl coach go. He's good. He's qualified as an offensive coordinator, offensive minded coach. And who are you going to replace him with? It's not like these good coaches, are just laying around and you can just get another one. It just doesn't happen. Which leads me to Tomlin in Pittsburgh. People are talking about maybe he lost the locker room. Maybe they need another voice. Maybe. Listen, Tomlin's not the no, he is not the problem. And on top of all of this, it's hard to win in the NFL. You can only have one champion. Okay. And other than that, you do want to be viable. You want to show the public, you want to show your players, you want to show your fan base that you have a plan in place to win. Bruh, jump on it. Hop in.
Okay, I'm in there, double Dutch. So if you look at Dallas Cowboys, it's it's sad. If you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, sometimes I just like watching the Cowboys lose because it's like watching the drama. Yeah, I had this very interesting conversation with one of my fraternity brothers who's a Dallas Cowboy fanatic, and it's almost default. Every Cowboy fan, you ask them the question, well, we got 5 championships. Yeah, bro, that was 37 years ago. Like, what have you done for me lately? Dang, my Ravens came around in 1996, and we've won 2 championships since then. I mean, dang, can you at least make it to the 2000s? So, what's been consistent is their general manager, their owner, Jerry Jones. But can we really put it all on Jerry? I'm not a Jerry apologist. However, Mike McCarthy did get you 12 wins. Previous coaches came through there. Bill Parcells came through. Like, there's something else happening because Jerry still put the team together. You still got a CeeDee Lamb. You still got a Dak Prescott. You still had Pollard,
Micah.
League. You still have these players. You got Micah. You have Diggs. I mean, you got the point. You got the people. So what happens when they get to the playoffs? This year, I would say having a sub 500 record is more of a tribute to the injuries. But 12-win season back to back. I mean, what more do you want? Do you want a playoff team? Do you want a team playing? Yes, everyone wants a championship. It goes back to Mike Tomlin. And it goes back to Mayo and Antonio Pierce's. What kind of organization do you want? Mike Tomlin has not won a playoff game in almost 10 years. Yet he's always had a winning record. He has the opportunity to get his team into the playoffs, and there's still someone to be feared. And he's been in his team for 18 years. John Harbaugh, my coach for the Ravens, been there 17 years. So we're talking about consistency. We're talking about what do you want out of your team? Yes, we all want to win a Super Bowl, but there's only one out of 32 teams that's going to win. And there are only 2 that's going to get to the show. So if Mike McCarthy had 2 years success, 1 year down to injuries, but I mean, in it's 5 years he's been there, they've been playoff team. So I can't say Jerry did something wrong. It's what's going on with the team, the schematics. Do you want an offensive coach? You want a defensive coach? You had Bill Parcells. So maybe they're snake bitten. I don't know. But to see how Jerry, this is the part I'm upset with Jerry from a leadership perspective, to dangle this coach to the eve of when there's other teams that are saying, hey, look, we'll rock with you. Let's talk. And then you nibble him all the way to the end and say, you know what? I don't think it's going to work out. And reports say Mike said, you know what? I'm good. He left. So kudos to him for walking away because you're not going to disrespect me. You told me all year long that I'm good to go, but then you mess with my money now. You're messing with my money. And so because of that, I hope he does succeed in Chicago or wherever these opening vacancies are, because that should be a slap in the face to Jerry. Say, you don't treat people like that. He watched, you did that to Dak, did it to CeeDee Lamb, all that during the offseason. We're all in. So, again, what do you want out of your coach? For Mike Tomlin to be on a hot seat, yes, I am a diehard Ravens fan, but I respect the Steelers. That's a great coach. They don't want that smoke. To let him go. Let him go is the worst thing that organization would do, and that's why I love the Rooney family. They're not listening to all that stuff. I would love to talk to a Steelers fan. At the same time, I like to talk to a Browns fan to say, okay, do you see this? Like, how arrogant can you be? Yes, the Steelers at least won one in the 2000s. But to sit here and say we're unhappy with our coach, and the Raiders have had 5 coaches since 2020, and the Browns have had 12 coaches since 2015. What have you? It's again, maybe it's an embarrassment of riches or a level of expectation as a team. But come on, man. Come on.
Come on, man. Yeah. All right, man. Let's get off that. Man, we got the Bills and we got the Ravens this weekend, man. Okay. Now, ESPN had a good question. Now, who needs this win more? What fan base needs this more? What quarterback needs this more? Is it Josh Allen or is it Lamar? I and I had to ask myself, who needs this more? Because you've been a Ravens fan for a minute, and you know how they used to talk about Lamar. Oh, he's not a pocket quarterback. Um, he's not a true passer. He can't win the big one. He couldn't win the playoff game. Well, he's a pocket quarterback. He's uh, elite. He's going for his third MVP. Uh, he can mess with your head because you got a scheme against him. He can run. He can pull it down. He can do it all at the quarterback, and he's slowed the game down. So, does he need this more, or Josh Allen needs this more? That's the question to you, sir.
So there's two questions. One, what fan base, and then which quarterback? I have two different answers for that. Fan base, Buffalo Bills. They've gone through some heartache. Them 4 years in a row in the 90s, they couldn't do it OJ. They couldn't do it Jim Kelly and that team. 4 years in a row getting to the Super Bowl and you can't finish. That sucks, but you
Yeah.
have to be a great team to make it, but wide right. I mean, dang, all those things. 4 years. So I say
Yeah.
fan base, yes, Buffalo Bills. Quarterback, Lamar Jackson. Because Josh Allen hasn't won the MVP.
I concur, by the way. I must add, everything that you're saying so far, I agree 100. Please, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So quarterback, look, you can't look. Golly, two MVPs. And you set the record for rushing as a quarterback. You set every time you run the ball out the pocket, you're setting a new record because you keep breaking your record. Now you got Derrick Henry. The knack before was that you couldn't win the playoff game and you was getting beat the first round. Last year, you make it to the AFC Championship after having the first round bye, and you lose at home. You don't have any more chances. This is it. They go out and get you a new offensive coordinator. They get you the baddest dude in the world that
Yeah.
strikes
Yeah.
fear in opposing defenders. You have less than 5 interceptions this year, over 40 touchdowns.
Poise.
Bruh,
Yes.
this he he cannot, he has to finish the deal. Getting to the Super Bowl is not enough now. You have put yourself so high. He's already a
But
first
dog,
ballot Hall of Famer.
but
Like,
dog, early in the season, they messed up. And I'm gonna tell you, those losses that they're supposed to win, we talked to go to Buffalo this
yeah.
time of year and try to win one, man, that sure stinks. That hurts. So home field advantage matters right about now. Can the Baltimore Ravens overcome the home field advantage? Going to the Bills Mafia, going to that crowd, going to that stadium. I expect snow. I expect cold. Can they overcome that? I believe they could team for team. I think the Ravens are the better team. Quarterback to quarterback, I think we got a better quarterback. Coach to coach, I think the Ravens. And I say we, I'm all of a sudden now I'm a Ravens guy. It's a we now.
We got a big
But
enough seat in our bandwagon, baby.
I think there's a better coach. But the field matters. Home field matters. And you have to help me. I'm not convinced that they can overcome home field, even though we got the better. I listed coach, quarterback, and team.
What about the home field concerns you? Because
The
Baltimore
cold,
plays in the cold. They played
yeah.
Pittsburgh in the snow. We got snow in Baltimore. So what is it about the home field that concerns you?
The
Considering
cold.
head to head, we've beaten the Bills more times than the Bills have beaten us.
Okay. The cold.
Okay.
The cold.
I'm
And you're
not
right.
worried about. Yeah, I'm not worried about the cold because they play in a
Okay.
cold outdoor stadium. This ain't these boys. They come from California, Florida. Not like Miami Dolphins. So it does suck that we did not win. There's 3 games we should have won. The a kicker, literally the kicker, lost those 3 games where we could have been a number 2 seed and number 1 seed. But
Right.
I'm not concerned about the weather. I'm concerned about our defense. Our defense has been on point over the last 7 weeks. We made some significant upgrades in the secondary. I That's the only thing I'm worried about because Josh Allen
Yeah,
is no
I'm,
one to play with.
I'm not even concerned about the defense because the defense has showed up now. Especially they're hitting their stride right about now. The other thing, other than the home field, is just staying true to their identity. And last week when they were playing, you saw they ran the ball against the Steelers. They ran. It was going to be Lamar centric early. And when they said, "Okay, Lamar, it's clear you don't mind running," he handed the ball off to 2-2. They didn't want that. They didn't want that smoke, as you say. So they couldn't had to pick their poison, and it didn't matter because poison is poison, and you're going to die. Pittsburgh died. So it's just staying true to their identity. At a point, I think it's third quarter last week, they didn't run as much, or they didn't run with pop. You know what I mean? And Pittsburgh got a touchdown. They got back into it a little bit, got their feelings, got their emotion up, and they did not win, obviously. But I saw and felt like, okay, I had to question whether or not the Ravens were going to be true to themselves, to who they are. They are ground and pound. Even though Lamar, as you said, didn't throw a lot of interceptions, and he's very proficient with his quarterback ratio and QBR, all that is good. But you still just need to stay true to yourself. I questioned it last week. Don't let me question it this week. It will come back to bite you. And you said the AFC Championship game last year, they had the game, but they strayed from their identity, from what got them the lead to begin with. They stopped running. That's my other
Yeah.
fear.
Yeah, definitely, they're a lot more versatile. I believe this season taught them a lot. You run, Derek, you win the game. And we're the most dangerous when we're able to employ all our weapons, not because and we confuse the defense. I do see us passing. I see the same type of game plan. No, if we play that level, no team will beat us. No team will beat us.
Right.
Again, they did take their foot off the pedal. There was 21 points at the end of the first half last week against Pittsburgh. 21 points.
Mm-hmm.
Game wound up ending 28-14. The score makes it look a lot closer than it actually was. Last time we played Buffalo, we won 35-10. Of course, that was in Baltimore. So Buffalo does have an axe to grind. And that's why I hope we're that team that's walking in saying nothing has been given to us. We won nothing yet, but one game. Records are thrown out. We shot ourselves in the foot knowing we have to travel every week now. Unless Houston, Texas do something and upset the Kansas City Chiefs, we're going to Kansas City. And guess what? Like last year, it could be negative 27-degree wind chill. So ball out. We asked for it. Come get it. And hey, it's going to be an exciting game, but provided we stay true, we
Right.
got it.
Right. I'm with you. Transition to college football, man. We got two left. We got Notre Dame, Ohio State. I don't like either of them, but if I had to pick one, I would pick Notre Dame, and that goes so against me because I'm a USC guy, but I can't stand Ohio State. I don't like either of them, but if I had to pick one, and it's really because of the young up and coming coach that they have at Notre Dame. The dude got it like that. I love his poise on the sideline. I love how he has put his players in position to succeed, and they seemingly are ready. They don't beat themselves. They make very few mistakes, and so I choose them. And I do I care really? I don't. I would love to see just a good football game, but um, isn't it ironic though? You got Coach Dave for Ohio State, man, just a few weeks ago. They wanted his head, and here he is. Does this save his job if he wins? Or if he loses the game, does he lose his job also? All over a game against Michigan. Man, there's some cold-blooded rooters up there, boosters, excuse me. They're
Boosters,
cold-blooded.
and rooters.
But talk about this game, man. Who you got and why?
Same thing. I hate both teams. I'm a USC guy through and through. I don't like the Big Ten from back in the days, the Pac-12 versus Big Ten, and Ohio State
Yeah.
sucks. I hate that. And in my Big Ten team, before USC made it over to the Big Ten, my Big Ten team was Go Blue, Michigan. So
Yeah.
I hate Ohio State, and it made me laugh every time they were losing to Michigan. So to see them there, God dog it, and go up against Notre Dame, that is our one of our arch nemesis rivals. So yes, now I just have to watch the game. But if I had to choose, I will choose the Notre Dame Fighting Irish for the same
Yeah.
points you made. Did you know that the coach for Notre Dame is a military brat? That alone made me say, wow. And then I heard him
Mm.
interviewed on one of my favorite radio shows, and I really enjoyed his story. Really enjoyed his leadership. And then the stories he told about his father and growing up in a military household, I really connected with that. And
Okay.
watching the product on the field, it's been
Yes.
great. Seeing how he inspires, how he leads. And then to watch last week when they played against Penn State during that presser, to watch how Franklin from Penn State tried to chump him, try to young man him and nephew him and all that kind of stuff, like because of his young age. I was like, oh, I hope they go out there and whip. And so they did. And so for that, I'm going for him. And I think they
Okay.
maybe also be the underdog. So yeah, I'm not going for Notre Dame. I'm going for Coach Freeman.
There you go. Well said. Well said. You got an NBA take before we wrap this up?
Man, nah. I don't watch NBA for real until after the football season because I get, I'm on this East Coast Standard Time. And if I'm going to watch the game, I love watching the games. But it's hard for me to watch the games when I know my team's not performing. I'm selfish like that. I watch any
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
However, I
Yeah.
don't want to see the ticker tape when the Lakers barely win or they lose against the team that's supposed to win. And I glance at the ticker tape and it pisses me off. And I ain't watching that game because I'm thinking they should win. So then I see the highlights. I'm like, why didn't they win? And then when I look at they did the ticker tape or show the record, I'm like, why is the record so close to being 500? And I promised y'all, I'm not watching any of them play if we're close 5 games close to 500. But then I could watch a Cleveland, I could watch a Cleveland, and
The
they're falling.
land.
And I'm like, dang, that's Cleveland. Who is on their team? And then,
Right.
it's starting to upset me. And this should not be upsetting to me. And then I know the Celtics are balling out, and I don't want to hear them talk about, oh, the Celtics got a chance to do. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
So hopefully by the time this football season and my Ravens, and I think the Ravens need my 100% attention.
Yeah.
Perhaps last year I was distracted. And so they need my undivided attention. So they know that I'm tuned in. So after we win that trophy in February, I can turn in and see what's going on with the Lakers and rest of the NBA.
For a man that didn't have a take, that was a good take. That was a good take. And I'm going to help you, though. I'm going to help you. I was watching the game last night, man, and we were getting stumped, man. We were getting stumped. And I was like, this is not supposed to be happening. But what occurred to me, what happened, it's like a light bulb went off in my head, is everybody wants the Lakers to be good. The Lakers think they're good, and they're really not. The Lakers are not good. Even with LeBron, even with AD and top 75 players. LeBron is playing like he's old because he rarely gets back on defense anymore. And he's turning the ball over a lot. So I'm going to talk Lakers and we're going to wrap it up. So to help you out, you're not missing anything because they really are what their record says they are. But I don't think they know it yet. And Coach JJ Redick, he is good, but he has a lot of growing to do. But it bears. We have to ask the question: why did we get rid of Ham? why did we get rid of the two previous coaches? Because we could have did the same thing with them, but they would have had tenure. They would have had and known their players, that corporate knowledge. And so we're really starting all over. Because JJ, he's a very good ball player. If you make it to the NBA, you got to be pretty good. But being able to coach X's and O's, strategize, know when to substitute, how to match up. That's where coaching comes in. Yes, preparation matters, but in game adjustments matter. And JJ has a lot to learn, a lot to learn. So the Lakers, they're not very good. And because you're vested and I'm vested, we want the best for them and we want and expect more from them. But that's not going to happen until they figure out who they are. And I can honestly sit here and tell you, I don't know who they are. And they don't have no identity. They got defenders and then they don't defend. They got shooters, but then they can't shoot. They have no consistency, whether it's offense or defense, and you don't know which team is going to show up that day. What I will say is AD is playing very good, and he's going to be an all NBA player. He's showing up, he's playing, he's balling, he's defending, he's shooting his shot. He's averaging like 24 to 27 points. He's doing good. Reeves doing good. Rui shows up sometimes, and then you're looking like, damn, Rui, where you at? So a lot to be said, a lot for the Lakers to learn, and it's already halfway in the season. What I will tell you is San Antonio, Victor Wembanyama, he is all that. If he's not MVP next year, if he's not MVP next year, he's going to be MVP soon. And he'll be Defensive Player of the Year this year. He's grown so much. So for you and I, if we shoot on a kid's basket, that's what it looks like for him, shooting a 3-pointer on a kid's basket, and his 3-point proficiency is very high. You get him in the paint, you can't block the shot. And I don't know if you saw last night where Ja Morant came in on him and it didn't count, but dunked on him. And I think Victor said, this is the NBA." He probably said it in French, NBA. But Ja,
Fantastic.
yeah. But the NBA just signed a 75 billion TV contract, so they're not going anywhere. The product can be better because too many teams shoot 3-pointers, and there's no more Shaq, there's no more back to the basket kind of team or guys. If you're 7 foot now, you're needing to shoot from the three to open up and space the floor. The other team besides the Spurs is the Houston Rockets, up and coming, and they got fired. We talked about Dan Campbell up in Detroit. Well, Ime Udoka for Houston, they represent him. They are a mirror image of him, and they will fight you. They got Dylan Brooks over there, and they got other boys, man. They're not very mature. They're just athletes, and they don't mind scrapping with you. They don't mind who you are, where you been, where you going. No, we today, right here, when it's time to toss the ball up, we going to throw elbows, and they don't mind in NASCAR lane trading paint with you. Them boys are bad. But that's my NBA take.
Well, so let me ask you this. You talked about the $75 billion. You talk about NBA is fantastic and all this. So NFL said, yeah, I know y'all been owning Christmas Day games for the last 20 years, but I'm the National Football League, and I'm going to put this on Netflix. Now, does the NFL, when it comes down to that Christmas, is it fair that the NFL said, I'm going to test our brand against your brand on your day? And all ratings and stats show that the NFL beat the hell out of the NBA that day. How do you feel about that? Are you thinking that NFL should just keep Thanksgiving games and leave it alone, or big bank take little bank? What do you think about that?
I find it interesting. And they go head to head, and it's like there's not enough pie for everybody. So the NFL is king. There's no doubt about it. But what is not fair is to the fan. However, there is a thing called DVR. There is a thing called streaming. There's a thing that I can actually watch all the games at my own pace, at my own time. So how they figure out the ratings, I don't get it. I really don't, and never have, because today's consumer can watch it anytime, whenever they want to. So if you talk about head to head, okay, cool. NFL, it will probably always win, especially in this season, early part. Like you, a lot of fans are NFL centric. Don't want to mess with NFL or football conscious, And so NBA comes later, and a lot of NBA fans or people that are soft fans only will tune in after the All-Star break when it gets serious and there's no other distractions out there, where there's only the NBA and maybe hockey. So to answer your question, how do I feel about it? I don't lose. Me as a fan, I don't lose. Okay, because they're still going to show NBA, they're still going to show football, and I have a choice. What do I want to watch right now? What do I want to watch later? Who's playing matters, and just where I'm at mentally in that mental space. So I don't lose. I don't think the NBA is going to lose, because we just talked about the marketing, the TV rights, and the deals that they're making. I don't think anybody loses. It's just the apple cart has been upset when the when the NFL says, you know what, we want some Christmas dollars, and they say, you know, bump y'all NBA. We ain't even asking. We gonna plant our flag on Christmas Day and let the fans choose. Okay, cool. And it worked, because the ratings, as you said, the ratings said that they did very well.
Yeah, I think that's pretty tight. Like you said, and NFL was so smooth with it. Like, guess what? Y'all can have all the major networks too. You want NBC, ABC, CBS, watch the game, ESPN. We gonna be on Netflix. We gonna make the consumer either buy a streaming service, treat us to Christmas, make you buy your own gift, and watch these games. That's so cool.
Man, yeah, I'm telling you, man, Tony Soprano, he ain't dead. He's running the NFL. He said, we gonna make the NBA swim with the fishes. That's what they try to do.
Fishes, man.
Oh, we want to thank y'all, man, for tuning in, because we had fun, and we hope that you guys had fun as well. We want to hear what you have to say. We want to know, do you care about Notre Dame or Ohio State? Does that matter to you? We got the NFL kicking off. And I mean, kicking off, I'm talking about playoff hot. And maybe your team didn't make it, but do you pick up another team now? Are you for the Eagles? Are you looking at the Commanders and what they're doing? Do you want Lamar to do his thing? Do you want Josh to do his thing? Or are y'all looking for the three-peat in Kansas City? We want to hear from y'all. Let us know. And we realize that the NBA is little brother when it comes to marketing right now, and they're not big on the scene. Let us know what you think, anyways, because we do have some NBA fans here. Let us know what you think. My last comment is, listen, it's flu season, RSV. We have a bird flu out there. We got pulmonary issues, respiratory issues. Guys, if you're sick, stay home. All right. Use your hand washing, hand hygiene, please. And if you need to, wear a mask. It may be optional, but before you know it, it may be mandatory. Just look out for your neighbor. I'm Dr. Timothy Hoover, and I'm signing out.
Hey, it's been great. Happy New Year, as we stated. There's so much meat on this bone. We couldn't get to it all. I'm going to still be eating when we're finished this, because there's so much. Where we talked about the Commanders, we missed about the how the Vikings choked, and Detroit Lions. I mean, there's so much. So hit us up. Hit us up on all our social media platforms, Facebook, X, Instagram, what have you. Drop a note. Let us know. We love talking to you all. And like my co-host said, enjoy this time. Stay safe. Enjoy this weekend. I'm Dr. Stephen Herman III. Take it to the house. I'm out.